name is Linda Gobel. I am the owner of Gap Group Financial. We are a retirement strategy and estate planning firm here in the Kansas City Metro. Retirement strategy means we help you with the end of your working life. So when you're nearing retirement or you're actually in it, we're gonna help you strategize to do it successfully. So you've earned your money, you've saved your money, your financial advisors helped you grow your money. We're gonna help you spend it. Spend it successfully, correctly, with abundance, and with no fear of running out of it. And the other thing we do is estate planning. And with estate planning, I'm gonna help you at the end of your life. We're gonna help you transition your assets. We're gonna help you make sure your loved ones receive everything you have for them peacefully, with joy, and with no tax problems. So my job here this evening is for the next hour, is to educate you on estate planning. Now hang on. My job here this afternoon is to educate my Alliance family on how I sell so many annuities. And how I sell so many annuities is that introduction that I just did for my estate planning seminars for you. I lead with retirement strategy. I am a retirement strategist to my clients. Now they don't know that yet, but they're about to, because we're gonna spend a month together after they implement an estate plan with me. Yes, after they implement an estate plan with me, they're gonna know me as their retirement strategist. So, as Zig Ziglar and my husband Keith reminds me, begin with the end in mind. So I begin my relationship with my estate planning clients with the end in mind. I wanna be their retirement strategist. So when Andy and Jane gave us the beautiful opportunity of an estate planning seminar, I looked around and I thought, okay, I wanna do estate planning. I jumped in, but then I also wanted to be something for my clients, not just someone who implements an estate plan. I didn't wanna just be a life insurance agent. So I looked around at what the industry was saying they should offer. And I saw a retirement strategist. And the best part is I didn't have to get my series license to do it, because you can be a retirement strategist, right? So that's what I did. So here's how. I'm a retirement strategist with my client. When they walk in the door, so for those of you who don't know, I do estate planning primarily as my source of my annuity clients. And also for those of you who don't know, we are at 3.8 million, just crossed on Friday for the year. So that's pretty exciting. I have deposited $230,000 on annuity money this year so far. We're on pace. We should be able to do 500 by the end. So that's exciting. And how I do it is the estate planning seminars. And how I do that is, right, I'm positioning myself as a retirement strategist with my clients. So I do that at the seminar. You heard my introduction. That's what we at Gap Group Financial are, is an estate planning and retirement strategy firm. I do it throughout the presentation, right? I'm talking at points where I am the retirement strategist. I do it not just with my clients at the seminar, I do it at that intake appointment. When they walk in and they sit down with me, we have the roadmap, right, Belle? We have the roadmap at the intake appointment, and step 1, 2, and 3 are all about estate planning. Step 4, I tell my clients, is the wrap-up meeting, where you're gonna come back in, we're gonna notarize some documents, we're gonna go over some things, make sure you're comfortable working with us. And then if you notice step 5, and I've got the paper in front of them, say step 5 for me is a retirement strategy session. And I offer all my estate clients a free one-on-one retirement strategy session with me. And all their eyes perk up. Because they're there for my free one-on-one estate planning, and now I give my estate clients a free one-on-one retirement strategy session. And then I say, because we've just done the intake, which means we've been talking about their stuff, I say, hey, I already see some things where I could probably help you and maybe give you some good ideas. So from that appointment, they're excited to talk to me as a retirement strategist. And then the wrap-up meeting. So they go through all the process and they come back to me on the wrap-up meeting. And at the wrap-up meeting, I'm prepared, I'm prepped, so I can land it. So I know their assets, thanks to the estate system. I know everything they've got going on. Thanks to my conversation with them, I know some areas they're worried about. So at the wrap-up meeting, I'm going to talk to them about it. And when we sit down, I'm reminding them of holes they have. And then I say, and like we talked about, we can do that retirement strategy session. And they almost all, I would say 99%, take me up. And they're coming back in, not for the final estate planning appointment. I've already pivoted them to a retirement strategy session. So we're positioned with the clients as a retirement strategist. Now my brand, I've also had to position that as a retirement strategist. So in my name, in our company name, on my door, it says retirement strategy and estate planning. On our website, we talk about it. In our brochures, we talk about it. In our image that we're trying to present comfortable, qualified, and a caring retirement strategist image. So in everything we do, our office is beautiful. Our staff is amazing. We have a look and a feel about ourselves because we're gonna be their retirement strategist. And then finally, I have to become a retirement strategist for real, which means I had to go to school, I had to go to work, I had to go to learning again. So I have some college in my background, but I'm actually back taking classes to get a retirement income professional certification because I'm gonna be that for my clients. I'm reading all the books. We've talked about them up here, The Bucket Plan, Power of Zero, all of those books, Safe Money, Flooring Models, and I went back to learning so I can actually be a retirement strategist for my clients. And so now that my clients are looking at me as a retirement strategist, and they're coming back in for that last appointment, that free consultation. As a retirement strategist, I'm giving them a retirement strategy session. We call it an RSS in our office. So that retirement strategy session, I'm gonna talk to you about what that looks like for the rest of this conversation. Because I don't wanna just give you the high level, I wanna give you the what I'm doing. So they're coming back in. My talk is how I sell so many annuities. So I'm just gonna focus on the thing that I mostly do that sells most of my annuities. And that is an income gap analysis. So I have my clients coming back for their retirement strategy session, and before they leave, all I need is to understand their expenses. Because I've got all their income, because I've done the work up to now with them in the intake appointment. We've got all their assets, because the estate planning process gathers all their stuff. But the thing that I need with my system and my process is their expenses. So I've learned how to do that very simply. I don't have them do a budget. I don't have them go evaluate it. I've learned in my learning that you can simply ask a client, how much do you have left over at the end of every month? How much are you putting away for sure? And if it's $1,000, great. Now I know how much their expenses are. If it's nothing, we have that too, right? So now when they're leaving me, I have their expenses. And so most of my annuity work is in safe income. It's in permanent income. I've done some growth stuff, and I've done just some, a little bit of Roth work. And those, for me, are where my growing's gonna come from. That I'm gonna learn in the next year from Bill Krause and Chris and all the guys. But for now, most of what I'm doing is filling an income gap. So really, when they come sit with me, we're gonna do an income gap analysis. So this is their income. I now know their expenses, and I'm just looking for the gap. And then I'm gonna fill it. So if they have a gap and they haven't filled it, that's easy, check the box. We just take some of their assets and we turn it into a permanent income stream, right? Thank you, F&G, Safe Income Advantage. Very excited about that. So the other thing they could do is maybe they've already filled their gap. And by the gap, it's they have a pension, they have Social Security, maybe some other guaranteed stuff. That's their income. And their expenses, if there's a gap, that's what I'm working with. But sometimes they're in retirement and they've filled it already. So if they filled it already, they've got one of two ways of doing that. One is they're taking 4% or less of their assets as a systematic withdrawal. They're going in and getting 4% out. 4% is the number that they say there's studies back in the 90s, the guy's name I forget, but 4% is the safe number. If they're taking 4%, that excites me because we can get them more and free up more of their money. 7%, depending on their age, is a good average of what we can pay out permanently, forever, on a pot of money. So $100,000, you can turn it into a $7,000 payment forever that never runs out. And instead of just taking 4%, we can give them 7%. So I can take a chunk of their money, this is their pot, and I'm gonna take about half of it and give them the same income forever. So they can take the other half, and instead of having to leave it there so it can feed their little 4%, they can have that other half to go spend and do, like Joe Walker was saying, do retirement well, right? Enjoy it. So I've just helped them if they're doing the 4%. If they're taking more than 4%, systematically out of their assets, now I get to show them how that's dangerous, and they may run out of it through a thing called sequence of return risk. So that's if they've filled their gap. If they filled their gap with their assets by pulling money off, I get to fix it, right? If they haven't filled their gap, that's easy. I get to take some of their money and fix it and lock it in. I had a client, they have $650,000. They were taking about 28 grand off. Don't do the math, these are gonna be ballpark numbers. They were taking about 28 grand off of that 650. And they were just leaving that 650 there because they knew they didn't wanna take more. I think that comes just under 4%. And I showed them how we could take 350 of it, turn that into the same payment, and that freed up $300,000 so they could go do fun, cool stuff in their retirement. It's such a good thing what we do, y'all. So they had a gap, they filled, we checked it. Are you taking 4%? Are you taking more than 4%? Because if you're not doing it through a guaranteed income annuity, you potentially have a problem, or you're leaving money on the table that you could have and play with. If you didn't fill your gap, I got you. And here's the other gap they can have, is a gap that's coming when one of their spouses dies, right? We've talked about that throughout the day today and some of the sessions. If one of them dies, income goes away, we need to shore that up with putting away money that can fill that gap when it happens. And the other thing they could do in my income gap analysis is they could not have a gap. Shoot, no opportunity. Oh, but hang on, there's way opportunity. We can help them with legacy money. We can help them take some of those assets that they don't need because they don't have an income gap, and we can grow it safely. We can talk about Roth conversions so we can minimize the taxes for their future the money they're leaving. And then we can talk about lifestyle money. And this, I love this. I don't have a gap. I cover everything with my money, my pension, or for our Social Security. We're fine. We've got the house paid off. We don't need any money. Okay, what about travel? And this is mind-boggling to me, how many people travel in their retirement like they've waited their whole life to do it. right? We don't live like that in the Alliance. We do it all the time. But they've been waiting for that retirement day so they can set sail. And we can take some of their money and we can turn it in to a travel account. I've done that so many times. Let's take $100,000, let's turn it into $7,000 a year for the rest of your life. You don't spend it, just pile it up for next year's travel and now go on a river cruise. It just helps them so much. And it's lifestyle money. So we can help them with lifestyle money. All of these opportunities and options come from an income gap analysis. So when I send my client home from the wrap-up meeting, we've got the retirement strategy session scheduled, and when they come back in, I'm not just having a conversation like I am with y'all. I'm prepared. I've got spreadsheets, I've got documents, I got conversational topics. We're ready to roll on fixing their issue. Now, I don't work with BAM, IAS, Integrity Advisor Solutions in my process. I'm gonna, but I got my process down. I'm like, I'm gonna get my retirement strategy business model down. And then where I'm missing out on the other things we can do for our clients, on the things like the fees analysis that BAM can, like we talked, like they can take your client's information and they can tell you how much they're overpaying in fees. So that's coming. Those are things where you have to engage a securities licensed advisor or analyst. I guess that's our new word, calling them analysts. Chris, are you cool with calling you an analyst? So that's my process. That's my retirement strategy system. That's where we've been getting annuities. We've been helping clients. Because from the beginning, when I work with my client, I'm a retirement strategist. I'm not a life insurance agent trying to help someone with an annuity. I'm not an estate planner trying to grab an annuity. I am a retirement strategist and an estate planner together, and we're gonna walk the client through the entire fixes that we can do within their problems. So now that's great for estate planning people, right? That would work. But what about if you're just doing life insurance and you're doing final expense life insurance with your clients? And I would recommend this. Become their retirement strategist. Even if you don't tell them it, become it, right? When you sit down with them and you fix a problem on life insurance, say, what I like to do though is look at my client's whole setup, the whole problem. While I'm here, I wanna make sure we've got your financial side covered correctly. And that's where you can introduce the income gap analysis. Let's look at what you're making. I mean, I used to do this all the time when I was just doing life insurance. We would kill someone off. Husband and wife, let's look at your expenses. Let's look at your income. And when one of you dies, what does it look like? And we fill it with life insurance, right? You can also fill it with assets they have. You can fill their current lifestyle shortfall with an annuity. So become that advisor or that strategist is kind of the legal term you can get away with for your clients. Do it through estate planning, do it through final expense, life insurance evaluations. Don't just sell life insurance. Help them with a plan. Don't just implement estate plans. Become something more to your clients through a retirement strategy approach. So that's what we do. That's who we are at Gap Group Financial. And now I'll just put a little bit of a bow on it for you. I believe in the help, I believe in the beauty of an annuity product inside of a retirement plan. If you don't understand it yet, go to work and learn it so you can believe it too. But let me give you some examples, right? I have a client, she's a single lady. She is, this was so fun. She loves my firm too. I cannot tell you, because we have an image we present. We're comfortable, we're professional, we're qualified, but she had $300,000 and she was just living, just getting by right? She had no money for fun, no money for travel. She just retired, and she was just getting by. So I was giving her, she had no gap because she was paying her bills, but she wasn't living, right? So we fixed it. We fixed it by saying, hey, let's take a chunk of your money. Let's take $100,000 and get you an extra $7,000 a year. And her eyes lit up. I'm like, and it'll be permanent, it'll be forever, and it'll never go away. Even when the money runs out, it keeps paying. This is how I talk to my clients. I'm just explaining things, a complex issue, explaining it simply. So she comes into my office, and we're all excited about this $7,000, and she brings me, I'm like, I need your statement. She brings me her statement, because I had like a screenshot of something. She had $700,000, not $300,000, and she didn't even understand that that's what she had. So what a wonderful day, right? We get to not only just bless her with $7,000, we tripled it. Like, let's do $350,000, and we showed her what that was, and she's like, Linda, that'll change my whole life. Changed her whole life. She never would have done it without us. She didn't know what she had, and she wrote me a letter and said, I've changed her, or an email. Our firm has changed her life. She has no worries now, plus she's enjoying the rest of her years with just such fun, and then she literally listed all the things she was gonna go do. So that's who you can be. So believe in what we do, we have a good thing. I loved just selling life insurance. I thought I was fixing problems left and right, but they were the problems that were never seen, right, until people died, right? The ones that I was helping, they're not gonna get to enjoy it. The neatest thing in the world is doing annuities, because they get to live in the good thing you did with them. They didn't have to die to go get it. So believe in what you do, take ownership. I'm putting a bow on it, B-O-W. Believe in it, take ownership of it. You become the expert, you become the resource, you become the strategist for your clients, so you can help them, right? But you gotta become that. Don't wait to get started in the doing, but become that person for them. And then the last thing is work. Work a process. So I work my process. I know exactly from the minute I lead off with a seminar who I'm trying to become and position myself with. I'm trying to have my clients see me as their retirement strategist. I build my firm to look like that. It's in my name, it's in our website, it's in our brochures, it's in everything we're doing. It's in who we are through the process. And then at the end, when they come in to culminate that process in a retirement strategy session, I am a retirement strategist for real, which means I can tell you about your tax issue. I can tell you about your strategic plan. I can tell you where the pitfalls are. I can weigh in on when you should take Social Security. I know what your Medicare options are. I am your retirement strategist. And inside of that, I get to sell annuities and help people just create a beautiful lifestyle for themselves or fix a problem they had. So that's my bow on it. Go to work. Believe in it, and if you don't yet, learn it, figure it out, because it's a beautiful thing. And then ownership, right? It's yours to take and make as big and as beautiful as you want. I'm excited about where we're headed. Biggest year ever for me in annuities. I know we'll hit $7 million this year. My plan is 10 and beyond as we go, as I start to learn how to bring in the Advisor Solutions group and how to bring in the rest of it. So we're just getting started. I know all of the annuity producers are gonna be up here, or later, or estate planners are gonna be up here later. We'll talk about it. We're just getting started as a company. Take your piece, dig in, and come join us. Thank you all, that's my time.